eating tacos, man.
Well, finish your goddamn tacos, Gino.
Are we live? I think we're okay. I think we're live. Here's the deal. I'll put my tacos away, I guess, because Sean just took us live. Sean is having massive technical difficulties, everybody, to the point that because we didn't want to cancel the show, because we already advertised it, already put it up at the top of the thread. Kane, quit fucking moving around. So we already advertised it. We already put everything up, meaning you never want to advertise and then cancel. And so we're like, we'll do everything we can to make the show go no matter what, even if the quality suffers, which is what's going to happen because I'm here and have to talk about Battleground with my esteemed statistician, Kane A. Knight. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing quite well, Gino. How are you?
I'm not okay because Sean is here, but he's not here because he can't talk.
Hi, everybody.
That gives you an idea. Sean turned into a robot at some point in the night, and he can't be with us. He's going to stay in just to make sure the thing runs because we are technologically stupid. On top of being general trash fire human beings, right, Kane?
That's absolutely right. I'm a terrible, terrible person.
Did you see my comment in the Battleground recap thread?
It's a very shitty comment. I saw it, yeah.
Well, people got... So here's the thing. I thought this was... I didn't really like the show that much. Excuse me. I had trouble getting into it. I was kind of bored for long stretches of time. There was... I'll cop to there were some things going on at home, but I had my Mark friend with me, who is really fun to watch the show with. He was not entertained. He was in his phone for much of the show. There was some of the stuff was fine, and I mean I get it if you're like you're super into wrestling. But I guess the truth for me is I'm not super into wrestling. Like I need a good story. I need the match itself to tell a story within that story, and I need it to come to a nice conclusion. Like I need it to be tight and together, and everything needs to make sense to me. And because this is WWE, we almost fucking never get that. And I just wasn't that entertained. I put that in the recap, and there are people, I shit you not, who are asking if I'm okay psychologically. Someone offered me their Twitter handle and said, I'm available to talk if you need it anytime, Gino. People, I didn't like a wrestling show as much as you did. You thought it was an A, I thought it was a C-, and that must mean that I'm suicidally depressed? People, I just didn't think it was that good. Kane, am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. So 2 points I want to add to what you just said is one, from the other end of the spectrum, if you're just looking at it from like a work rate perspective, it wasn't necessarily a blowaway show in that sense either. Zayn and Owens was amazing, great match. Outside of that, you could argue that everything else was just okay. Some things maybe were good, some things were bad, but nothing else was like, holy crap, this is amazing. So it wasn't like we got like tons of amazing match after amazing matches after amazing matches, that had a terrible story or something. So I could see people, because I'm sort of on the other end of you on this. I kind of, if a guys get like, let's take Mark Henry's Hall of Pain run. I actually did not enjoy that at all because, for me, I need the match they're building to be something I want to see, and there's no such thing as a Mark Henry match I want to see. So I could never really get into Mark Henry Hall of Pain because I knew the actual match would not be, I think he had one match with Big Show where they broke a ring, and I did enjoy that one. But outside of that, Mark Henry matches are always blah to me. So I'm sort of on the other end there, and even for me, the show, I liked it a little better than you. I'd give it like something in the B range, I guess, or something. But I didn't think it was, I thought your assessment of it was fair.
You know what's funny is I was so close to just not even giving it a grade, to just letting the good and the bad kind of stand on its own. And I feel like if I'd have done that, I would have avoided all of this.
Right. No, some people in the comments did say that they didn't think your words matched your grade. So in other words, they thought what you were saying kind of matched up with what they were thinking, but then your grade was much lower than what they would have given it.
It was a C, and I put in the final thought, I said, look, it's a below average show. You could have skipped this. You didn't need to watch the show. The show was designed to, so it's just a setup for what's tonight, right, for Raw, and then tomorrow night for SmackDown. But the bigger picture is it's just a setup for SummerSlam.
And
So,
even like Bayley's a one-off, right? So you could say that's skippable too in some sense, right?
Yeah, you can just watch the highlight. You can just watch her entrance, and the match wasn't all that spectacular. I mean, it wasn't anything you haven't seen before. Much better work down in NXT. So you could go, oh, that's a cool thing, and you didn't need to watch this program. I wouldn't have felt like, man, I really missed out. And when you look at that and you invest so much time in this shit, and they go long now, right? They're fucking doing the thing where they're going over, and they're, the long-ass pre-shows, and at the end of the night, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. We're in the main event. People are going, it was a great match. I'm like, maybe it was, but when it's so far into the show, and they're not doing anything. I mean, they're not reinventing the wheel. I mean, it's just a standard. And triple threat matches are up against it either way. So I just felt like, you know what? They're not catching me. They're not getting me actively involved in this in a way that's meaningful to me. And granted, part of it is where you are when you're watching the show, who you're watching it with, your mindset going in, your mindset during, what's happening around you, things like that. So, it was a bit of a rough night as far as some other stuff going on. Sean's having internet stuff. I was having internet issues last night. My network stream actually was on a PS4, and normally it's been very good, and this time it was skipping around and it was shitty, and that'll turn you real quick. If you're trying to enjoy the show and you can't because it keeps bumping back 10 seconds every fucking 2 minutes.
Right.
So it's stuff like that, outside factors like that. And then we've talked about before, people watch the show, you're just a fan, you can just get up and walk away if you don't care about Natalya versus Becky Lynch. I can't. I have to watch the whole thing. So on some level, you're grading on a scale that isn't on the same scale I am because you're not even watching the same show, at least in one way. I think that's fair.
That's very fair. Sometimes if I miss, Raw some weeks or whatever, I certainly don't go back and watch the whole damn show because I don't have to.
You're doing good, Kaden. You're agreeing with me a lot. Stroking my ego. That's what I need you to do. I do apologize again for Sean not being here. I know everyone loves the Gino and Sean show. Not to put you down, Kane. You're a good guest. That did put you down. I'm sorry.
Oh, right, look.
You're like, fuck, why did I even come? I'm saving you up for the show.
I'll just pinch my nipples for the next hour, and you could just talk about how much you love Sean. That's fine with me.
I like that. Let's talk about that. Kane's nipples. No, so we'll start at the top, I guess. Bayley.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about Breezango?
Not even a little bit.
All right, so Bayley.
It's Bayley. The Twitter handle fits. What'd you think?
I thought you got a really
the best part of the show.
Right. So I mean, I just remembered now that I talk really fast, so I'm like, oh shit, I need to slow down, don't I?
Right. Last time he shit on me for talking too fast. I'm a horrible person. I'm so sorry, Kane.
No, I am aware of this. I should speak slower for this sort of medium. So I apologize, Cage Siders, for I'm not on cocaine or meth or whatever you guys accused me of last time. I'm no Enzo Amore, okay?
Yes.
So I thought Bayley got like a pretty big star treatment in her entrance. It was a big. They started the show off, which, by the way, I'm going to shit on some Cage Siders right now. In my little, predicting the match order thing, I put this one first, and I might have bombed the rest of the show, but I got this one right, and some people gave me hell for that. So screw you.
In your face, jerks.
In your face, jerks. That's right. Thank you, CM Punk. So so Bayley looked like a big star, and Sasha, the match itself, it wasn't much, but it was basically designs for Sasha to get the tap out on Charlotte, so now Sasha can, go against her at SummerSlam. So I thought they accomplished their goal, and Bayley got a nice, a nice moment for her.
Yep, first win on the main roster. I thought it was really good because the whole idea, and I think, looking back, I think this was really well done. Sean kind of turned me on that because he said, this is good to hold off on it for now, the call-up. They'll bring her up in September or in the fall, whatever like that. I think it works really well because this establishes a connection between her and Sasha on the main roster, not just NXT, so they have something to draw on once she does come up. And when she does, she's immediately attached to Sasha in some way, right, because of this connection here.
Yeah.
above and beyond what they had in NXT, and there's material there, and all the great matches they did there, and the main eventing, the takeover, and the Iron Woman, and all that stuff. But her function essentially was to make sure Sasha won in the way that she won, to set her up for the singles match for the women's title at SummerSlam, which they'll probably book tonight. And Sasha's probably going to win that match, and she's going to be champ, and then Bayley will come up, and Sasha will be champ, and it will be, hey, maybe you can give me a match. And then maybe that's when Sasha turns heel, and we just get a recreation of their NXT program.
Yeah, and hopefully that's exactly what they do. And but that would so that would mean Bayley's on Raw then. But I think that's where I guess some people are saying SmackDown could use another big presence on the female side.
She's not
but to
a big
me,
star, though.
right? Yeah, like to me, Bayley and Sasha, that story is what could turn Bayley into a big star on the main roster. So I think that's the way to go.
You're in the bubble. Remember, you're in the bubble. If you know Bayley, you're in the bubble. I'm sorry, that's what the casual people, super casual fans, no clue who Bayley is. Just because you watch NXT does not mean that the casual viewer watches NXT. There's only 1.4 million subscribers to the network, and Raw gets 3 point however many million viewers every week, 3.2, let's say. There's a huge gap, and it doesn't even mean that every one of those 1.4 million subscribers is watching NXT every week. Right. Most of these people don't know who Bayley is. So this was actually, even to look at it like that, this was really well done, because you introduced her, huge star reaction, big pop, gave her the big entrance. Like you said, they treated her like a big star. It felt like a big deal. So if you didn't know her, you came away from it thinking, she's a really big deal. I want to get to know her. And so what they should do now is, with all that fucking extra time they have on Raw, promote the fuck out of her NXT match in Brooklyn against Asuka. And even if she loses, that's okay, whatever. I mean, you don't need to, worry about that too much. Call her up anyway.
Right.
And then, like you said, when she does come up, that's when you make her a star. Don't just send her to SmackDown. She'll die a horrible death.
Right. And the other thing is, with Sasha, some people are complaining. I'm sorry, with Bayley, they're complaining, why is it a one-off? Think about what would happen to Bayley over this next month if she was on the main roster.
What would she do?
They have SummerSlam coming up. It's going to be a double-branded show. There's going to be, so maybe it's 4 hours. Maybe they can have 9 matches or 10 matches on the card, but they're not going to have, I really doubt Bayley would be in a decent spot on that card if she even made the card. So I think everything you're saying here is the right way to go, and it makes sense.
Yeah, you wanted to work Nia Jax, and do another, and they could do that, but certainly maybe. I don't think it's, do we have confidence in them for how they're going to book her, what they're going to do with that kind of thing? They do it in NXT, but
they would need a third women's match for that, because SmackDown's going to have some sort of women's match represented at SummerSlam, I would think.
That's a good question.
So Bayley would be the number 3 feud in the pecking order, whatever Bayley's doing for that show.
And likely wouldn't even get on shows like that. So yeah,
right.
The other thing too is it's a good life lesson, even, not that I'm the one should be dishing them out, but you can't get everything you want all the time. That's just not how it works. You can't get a Sasha run as heel champion while also demanding Bayley comes in and is treated like the biggest star since John Cena. You can't have both of those things at the same time. Now, you can have that later, once they set it up, once they get you there, but you have to at least try to consider where they're going to be coming at this from. And it's like we said, you bring her up, you get her started, you get her the exposure, which is what you did. Maybe not the biggest show, but you got her some really good exposure. She was treated like a star. Her team won. They did the interviews. They did the cool gifable post-match hug. All this stuff. Ton of hits for our website surrounding the mystery partner, all that. They created intrigue and paid it off with a partner that mattered. And so it's all a good setup for later. I understand, gimme, but let's just have a little patience on this one, and we'll be much better off for it later, as her entire career has taught us. Right?
Yep. And now
perfect Sean response.
yeah.
Good talk. Good
so
one.
now we could talk about the New Day and the Wyatts. That was next on the list. What do you think of that one?
Oh man, let's not.
What did you think about the bump Big E took? Out his spear on Monster
Have
Ball.
we seen Big E since that happened?
Yeah, is he okay? I am legitimately concerned for him.
Normally he trolls Twitter when shows are over, but that looked bad. I like that he does it.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
an
think it's a fun
awesome
spot.
looking bump, and this may have been his worst landing. I think everyone is always waiting. When's he gonna have I don't know. This is gonna sound morbid. The career-ending landing on that thing, and boy, that was pretty scary.
Oh yeah, let's not talk like that. I mean, I want him to keep doing it because I don't care
Right.
that much about his health and well-being. Yeah, it looked like a bad. You know what though? With this match, and that's the way I felt about it was I liked that they told the story that they needed to tell her that they were telling. With Xavier being scared but overcoming his fears, but ultimately it didn't matter. And
Yeah.
maybe if I had more time with it, I mean, I was also in a hurry trying to write the recap, and I look back on that and I think, that's actually a pretty cool life lesson too. The idea that you're going to be scared of things and you're going to need to overcome those things, and even if you're scared and you overcome it, shit could go wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's a really shit's probably going to go wrong anyway is probably the better way to say that. That's actually a really good story that they kind of compressed in there. But my issue was they had to compress it. My issue was this felt very rushed versus everything that they had done leading up and into it because they're not on the same brands. Now it was like, we got to wrap all this shit up because tomorrow half the crew ain't even going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that did take away from it for me as well. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine, but like you said, like in your overall recap, you're not missing anything if you if you skip this one. It was cool with the Xavier and the Bray stuff at the end, but now they're going their separate ways, so that's the end of that one. And now we get to see Braun Strowman as a singles wrestler on Raw.
Brawny big man don't talk shit about McLong man. Because he's brawny big man is where it's at. He is gonna get lost in the shelf. You know what? I can't wait for Raw tonight. Actually, if I'm being honest, because I really want to see what they do, how they structure it, what we get out of it. I mean, it's half a roster.
All right, I'll make a prediction.
Let's hear it.
By 25 minutes after the show starts, you will retract that statement. Because then you will realize after that first opening promo is over where they kind of lay stuff out, then it's going to be like a 35-minute tag match with they have half a roster, so they have to fill time at matches you probably don't care about.
You don't have a Twitter, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was going to say, I'll tweet you when I get to that point where I'm like, man, this was a mistake to look into this.
Unless Eva Marie, is she on Raw? I think she's on Raw.
Nope, she's on SmackDown.
Oh, that's right. All red, everything's on the blue brand. That's right. That's how I remember it.
All red, everything's on the blue brand. Yeah.
Right.
Do you have Snapchat?
No.
No, don't act like it's beneath you. No.
I'm not, I
Who
have
would have
nothing.
Snapchat,
No, I have nothing. That would be my answer if you asked me about like Pokemon. Like I'm just not in the loop. I have no idea what's going on.
How old are you, Candidate?
How old am I? Let me think about this. I am 33.
33. Don't lie to me.
I know. I was doing some math
33?
in my head. 33.
Okay, so I think that's fair. Then you're not into Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Are you?
Fuck no. Do you not listen to the show? We spent so much time. We're like, this is not for me. Like, if it's good for you if you want to get into that.
Right.
Well, if I'm walking down the street, don't bump into me because you're trying to catch your Charbanger.
Charmander, yeah.
I don't give a damn about it, and be mindful of people around you.
Oh, that could be Braun Strowman's singles gimmick. He's looking for Pokemon backstage in every other segment.
Dude, do you remember when I booked Bayley to be called up to hug the light back into Braun?
No, I don't remember that.
Man, I'm sad they didn't go through with that. No, but what was it? What the fuck was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Snapchat. Eva.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't have Snapchat, if you have a Snapchat, listeners, Cagesiders, and you don't follow Eva Marie, correct that right now because it's actually really not because you might see her in a bikini, although you will, and not because you're a big fan of her or anything like that, but if only because she snaps so much that you actually get a good taste of what her real life is actually like. And what I came away from it feeling was it fucking must suck ass to be a WWE superstar. She's always on the road. She's always traveling. it's a fucking new airport, and then it's a plane, and then it's a car, and then we're headed to fucking Rawley, and then as soon as the show's over, a show she didn't even appear on, she's back in a car, and it's fucking 2 a.m., and she's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere with Dana Brooke, and they're driving somewhere trying to keep themselves going. They get to the hotel, they sleep for 2 hours, they get up, they go to the gym to keep their bodies tight, they eat next to no food, and then they go to another gym session, and then she's got to go put on 8 pounds of makeup, which takes 2.5 hours to get to the next show that she again isn't used on, and gets back to the travel and grind. I would fucking hate that lifestyle. It looks miserable.
What's even worse in Eva Marie's situation is that her support system is her awful brothers and her father. I mean, if you remember them from Total Divas, oh man, they are the worst.
And her husband is her manager, essentially by default, because he has to be. He would never see her if he wasn't.
Right.
And even so, yeah, and then the best part of all of this is she makes all these sacrifices, does all this stuff, and everyone hates her fucking guts. Wants her to die in a fire. Like, I mean, heel, but even when they were trying to make her a babyface. Like this person. Nope. No simpy.
Well, maybe Big Show will find her tonight and offer her some advice backstage.
They're picking on me, Big. She's not going to be there. She's SmackDown.
Oh, sorry.
It's going to take some getting used to this. It really is.
Well, it will. That's supplemental portion of the draft I definitely don't have memorized.
Yeah. What's Raw going to do with their last draft pick?
Let's see. Who's available? They could pick,
They didn't pick Heath Slater. They still haven't.
Is there like Bobby Roode? Oh no, that's an NXT guy. I don't know. They're gonna make some shit up and may pick a referee or something. I don't know. They'll make some dumb shit up.
You are doing good in the Sean role because it's the exasperated. I don't fucking know. Like, why you ask me this shit, Jim?
Yeah,
no, I don't know the answer.
Right. You
know I don't have an answer for this. Right. Son of a bitch. What other matches were there?
We have to talk about Mr. Rawley, Mr. Hype Bro there.
Holy mother
next match.
So, okay, Rusev beats the shit out of Zack Ryder, and it's just Mojo Rawley. Sure. You could say that about everybody, however. And the way you become someone who isn't just such and such is by booking them to look good in situations where it's easy to make them look good, such as a main roster debut. This motherfucker comes running to the ring, hyped. I'm going to save Zack Ryder, my hype bro. He gets in the ring. He fucking starts screaming in Rusev's face. Doesn't punch him. Doesn't push him. Doesn't physically accost him. Doesn't give him the old kick wham stunner. Nothing. He just yells in his face. Rusev looks at him. Just gives him the most condescending fucking like, who in the blue fuck are you? Just like shrugs and leaves. Mojo just watches him go. And then he hangs out with Zack, and that's the whole fucking debut. You gotta be shitting me, man.
Okay, Gino.
Not look worse than you just did here.
I've never seen this man before in my life, okay? So when
You've never seen Mojo for real?
No, I've never. I don't watch NXT. So I'm aware
must have been blown. Who is this idiot?
Right. I'm aware of like that Zack Ryder had a tag partner and the whole what's this thing on Stay Hyped or whatever. I mean, I've heard of these things.
I don't get hyped.
Right. So anyway, I see this man running out. I know who it is because I know he's the tag partner, but I really don't know anything about this guy. And he looks like he's just screaming in the guy's face. He looks like a poor man's version of Ryback in some sense. And he's just like, it was so weird. He thinks it's bro me, and I don't know. I was not impressed at all. But it was very awkward, and they're not even on the same brands. I believe Zack and his bro there are on SmackDown, and Rusev's on Raw. So there's going to be no follow-up to this, right?
No, the only follow-up was Rusev savaging him on Twitter. Rusev followed up and said something like, I can't believe they let a fan into the ring. Or something like, right? Like, I should have been there, or something like that. He's like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, oh my God. Which, that's... This man comes running out, Canaanite says. Holy shit, there's a crackhead running into the ring. What the fuck is he doing? And just screams in his face and does like, you could have had him punch the fuck. He just had a match. I don't care if he won the match. Just do something. Don't just get in a man's face and yell. And Rusev's the best.
Right. They have this
made Rusev look so good. Dude.
I guess Rusev is used to facing off with men on bath salts or whatever, and so it was fine for him.
Bath salts. Oh, this was so good. He just had the look on his face is priceless, man. Like, what in the fuck are you going on about, dude? Like, who are you? What are you saying? I'm just going to walk away.
I have to give some praise to Rusev. When he was doing the whole anti-America gimmick where he was like squashing Biggie and Swagger and all these guys, not squashing, but you know what I mean, going over them. I was not really into his, I didn't really know what to think of Rusev as a performer just because I wasn't into the gimmick at all. But now that I've seen more of what he's all about, Rusev is awesome in every way. And
he's the best.
I really hope they, he's been winning a lot of matches lately. He really, they've been making him look pretty good. So I hope, they don't Cena him again with whoever the eventual guy is to beat him, and then because he fell a decent amount after that feud. So I'm hoping they have something good planned for him, over these next several months because Rusev is awesome.
Yeah, his Fallout video was just I need someone new to crush. So yeah, that was it. And Lana was wearing a tiara.
Oh yeah, what the hell was that? Is that something?
She's a queen. Slay, queen, slay. Yes, queen, yes. I don't know.
So we got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was next. I know you have tons of things to say about that one, but maybe we should just
skip your mouth, Canaanite.
We should probably just skip your thoughts on that one, right?
Yeah. I missed it live because, again, both Sean and I were having massive problems. And shout out, I won't bag on him this time, shout out to Kyle Decker, who swooped in and saved us. He really did. There was a minute there where it was like real bleak, and we're like, oh, fuck, everything went wrong for us all at once. Me and Sean. But Kyle was there to save us. I did catch up on a little bit of Owens and Zayn today. And whatever. Whatever.
I thought this...
The finish was really good. The finish was really good.
Here's my I think the people who I think are hardest on this match, where there aren't too many. I think they're the worst thing I've heard people say about this match is that like the first half is boring, but the second half is great. So even if you didn't get into the match in the first half, like you said, the finish was really exciting. Where this one, I was sort of in a situation like you were describing. I was at a group. There were like 5 of us or so watching the show together. Some of the show. I ended up not seeing the main event, but this match, and so we're talking over each other. Most of us are hardcore wrestling fans, so we're smarky sons of bitches, and we're talking over matches and stuff. This one, though, at a certain point, got us to all shut the fuck up, and we were just glued to the screen watching it because it got us. This match got us. So, awesome job by Zayn and Owens. I really enjoyed this one. I think it might be my favorite WWE match of this year. Maybe it was really good.
Do you think it's the end of their thing?
Look, Raw is 3 hours long, so they'll probably be in like a tag match or some dumb shit next week. But I don't think they'll be fighting each other on pay-per-view in a one-on-one situation.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Zayn, he finished him off and really, the 2 kicks in a row. That's sort of like the, fuck you, Kevin Owens, I win. So I think that he's kind of done. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Fuck you, I finally win.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel bad? To do it at Battleground? Aren't you supposed to do this at SummerSlam? Like that could have. It feels like that could have been, or should have been, even a marquee match at a big show.
Do you think they'd get 20 minutes at SummerSlam? I don't know. They
right.
They had the most time on the card. I think I haven't gone through the numbers yet, but I think their match was maybe the main event was longer.
You're the numbers guy, you son of a bitch. Who was it?
I haven't sat down yet. They're both in the 18-minute range. I'll
I haven't sat down yet. I'm still hyped. Like,
right, that's right. I'm still hyped. That son of a bitch.
I don't have Rusev to shrug me off. I'm still doing okay in life.
Right. So, but it was, it got 18 minutes or something in that range, which, that's awesome to see those 2 guys get that, and I thought they did well with it. So I'm generally not someone who goes crazy when matches don't happen on the 2 or 3 biggest shows of the year. To me, just get it out of the way when the timing is right. And
was the timing right?
You know what? I think some people were wearing down on this feud, actually, because they have fought each other in some form or another on 4 straight pay-per-views, starting from WrestleMania. There was several group matches in there. This may have even been the 5th pay-per-view in a row. At WrestleMania, you had a ladder match. Then the one after that, Owens beat Zayn. The one after that was a 4-way for the Intercontinental title. The one after that was a Money in the Bank ladder match, and then there was this one. So that's 5 in a row. So I think the time was right to if this is the end, to end it. I don't, you have a 5th match here and then a 6th at SummerSlam. To me, just end it here.
Especially because the babyface went over in, like you said, fuck you fashion.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect, too. I don't have a damn thing to say about Becky and Natalya. I don't want to talk about it. I said that and I'm immediately about to start talking about it. Why do you draft Becky? So Raw, they got Charlotte with, the 3rd pick? Or the 2nd pick?
2nd, yeah.
The 2nd pick, the 3rd pick overall, and then brought Sasha in before SmackDown had even taken a female. And Brian's like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to follow that up with Becky Lynch. She can be the fucking workhorse of the brand." Why then, if you draft her number 1, she's your top woman on SmackDown, why would you beat her at the very first show?
Well, you already know the answer to that question because you put it in your predictions for...
She's a fucking loser.
Right. I think it's a really bad look for Becky. I guess the thing is, though, is that they only have Becky and Natalya, I don't even know who the rest of the women are on the SmackDown brand right now. They're probably not supplemental.
Alexa, Carmella, okay. Eva, Becky, Natalya.
Right. So it's basically Becky and Natalya.
Only person. Your number 1 pick is a loser.
Yeah.
The biggest loser in the entire women's division. I'm sorry. It's true.
Becky Lynch is a really exciting performer, and I think they this whole year she loses so much. I think they're really,
this was your chance to make her a winner.
Right, and if the idea is they're going to do 50-50, we got to have something for SummerSlam, it's like, you really don't. Like if the whole point is, I'm not saying you don't need to have something at SummerSlam, I'm saying you don't have to have Becky lose here because Becky has to win at SummerSlam. Just have her win this one and that SummerSlam, or whatever. Like, Becky needs to win matches.
If she's the number, okay, here's the thing. If you're over in the way she's over, and you lose all the time, what does that make you? The underdog.
Yeah.
You're the underdog, right? Like, that's the idea for her character. Would you think that's fair?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you pick her number 1 then?
Right. Well, look,
What in the world?
Okay, Gino, here's my gripe about the draft. Sorry, this is a slightly different performer.
Do it.
Okay. You saw the rumors that Orton had recently about they're going to do drafts at this time every year or something like that?
Are they really?
I think Ortman had that. Talk to Ortman. He had that.
I don't like him. So.
I think I think that was one of his rumors. And okay. I was like, if that's what they do, then why the hell did Raw take Balor with draft pick number 3 over John Cena? Anyway,
because he doesn't work house shows.
Right.
He doesn't want to do the live events. We need to draw money now. Okay,
right.
We need to. They're talking about winning in the ratings. Like SmackDown had more viewers, and they're like, we beat him in the ratings. Blue brand go. Like
right.
The whole thing's so weird. That's a good point, though. If they do that.
I don't
know. That's, Ortman, I mean, whatever with that guy. But,
he's a little flaky.
You can, even if it's the idea now, you never know. I mean, right?
Yeah.
The Stephanie story, Vince, she's like, I got an idea. And Vince is like, damn it, no more. Even if they're good ideas, we're not taking them. We're doing it this shitty way, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, so Becky, not a good look. It doesn't make Bryan or the other one.
You can't be an underdog and be the number 1. You're not If you're the number 1 pick, you're not an underdog.
Right.
If you're the underdog, you shouldn't be the number 1 pick. It makes no fucking sense. And if you have her be the underdog, do it later. She was your number 1 pick. Let that alter what you're doing. Natty was the number 2 pick, in fairness. But it's just there's no future in Natalya as the top. You can't have her be the top.
I think that's the underlying thing here is that we don't see much reason. Like, why is Natalya winning as well? That's part of it too. It's not just why is Becky losing. I guess Natalya. I like Natalya for the most part, but I guess I don't foresee any interesting stories they're going to tell with her. So that's sort of like, people say wait and see, wait and see, and sure, I mean you have to wait and see, I guess, but I don't really think it's going to go anywhere exciting, I guess.
Ditto. My buddy said in her, and I can't unsee this. My buddy said in her getup last night, she looks like the Penguin from Batman Returns, and I looked and I was like, holy shit, like she kind of doesn't, but when you see it a little bit, it's like, oh man, that's all you can see. What else? Miz he had a dick on his face.
Oh man.
Him and
yeah, what was that about? Is that like
they watched Eyes Wide Shut before the
right?
Show. I don't know.
So who else was in their orgy then?
Not me, unfortunately. I didn't get the call.
Yeah, only A-listers, I'm sure.
Ooh, wow.
Must have been Sean
That
Rudy.
was you know what? I respect you for that. That was pretty fucking good. I like that a lot, actually. You know, it's funny because I was hoping, so I referenced a shitty comment I put earlier. That was mostly tongue-in-cheek. I wanted people to have fun with it, and only one person did. I was like, this Gino guy's a real piece of shit. Like, his opinions are different than mine. What a garbage person. Just a real trash fire human being. Like, I overdid it so much that I was hoping someone would, people would, like, see that it was just me being over the top. And only one person was like, that level of self-loathing is, like, really unhealthy. That's a good comment. Thank you for that response. A bunch of other people are like, God, you fucking wine tit. Come on, guys. Let's all have some damn fun in here. It's fucking wrestling. While we complain about it. And that was another complaint. all Sean and I do is complain on Cage Side Live, which is funny because all we really try to do is laugh like idiots. And now here we are and we're complaining. So, you're right, guy, I guess. I hope that feels good for you. But no, yeah, so they watched Eyes Wide Shut, I guess. Yeah. And,
hey, I got a question for you. When did Bob Backlund lose his teeth? I don't ever remember this. I don't remember this.
Well, he's like 90, so, I mean, maybe... Yeah. Your teeth
were his teeth gone in the vignettes with Darren Young? Did he not show them, or did I just not see it?
So, like, he legit didn't have teeth in? Like, dentures or nothing?
I mean, it looked to me like there was a huge gap somewhere in his top row of teeth there, but
maybe something happened.
Yeah.
He was a champ for a long time. It takes sacrifice to be the champ.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, a couple weeks ago, I don't remember teeth being missing in the vignettes, but I don't know.
Well, he might have had, like, a bridge in or some dentures.
Sure. Man.
He's old. Teeth fall out. Shit happens. When, life happens to you, Kane. Don't bag on the guy. My concern is he hit a woman.
No, missing teeth helps this character better because Bob Backlund is idiot.
He's unhinged.
Yeah, he's a real lunatic fringe.
That's good. Was that the idea with the finish? Is Darren Young's like looking at his hands? He's, what have I done? Like he's becoming unhinged like Backlund was?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for.
I think it was. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I think they get too many of these situations.
Oh no, we're complaining again.
Where it's like, you're going to be the new version of this guy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work very well. Like, there's one person who plays that character well, and if it's an especially popular character, the next guy's not going to be able to live up to that standard. So, looking at you, Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels. So, anyway, it's...
Also, the thing that they set up with the gimmick, make Darren Young great again.
Yeah.
So if you don't succeed, are you basically admitting that you're shit? I didn't win the title. I'm not great. I suck.
Right. So it
I'm
was
actually trash.
Like he didn't get pinned. He didn't tap out. So he still could potentially be great. I don't know. I think they were trying to protect his gimmick of being great again, but also not giving him the title.
And we last night, I wrote in the recap. I said, "Well, he got DQ'd, right?" Because I thought that's what happened. And then Canaanite comes in. We're in the Cage Out offices. Canaanite comes in and he goes, "WWE.com is calling it a double disqualification." And I'm just like, you know what? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't think anyone knew what was going on, and I think
the rationale was that the Miz pushed Crazy Man Bob Backlund. That's why he got disqualified, and then Darren Young got disqualified for not letting go of the chicken wing or something like that. I don't know.
That might be the first time an entire audience like simultaneously was like, "Hey, what just happened?" And 1 second later, we're like, "You know what? I don't really give a shit."
Absolutely, that was the exact reaction I had too. It's like, what? Yeah, like, whatever. Who cares?
Whatever. What's the next match? Yeah, like that. FYI, WWE, you don't want us to feel that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to think that I just don't care. Like, and why book a finish like that? And they're on separate brands, so I guess that's done for.
Yeah, so now Darren Young can go. Do you think he's going to go heel with his crazy, unhinged hands or whatever?
You know what? I like unhinged characters.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go unhinged, I want some R-Truth smoking cigarettes ringside type shit.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for that too, yeah.
Sean, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Is your shit okay?
I just ordered a new cable modem, and immediately everything sped up on my computer. Like, as soon as I clicked pay now.
Sounds like to me like your provider there just fucked you over. They knew what's going on, and now
Fucking
they just
Xfinity, these suckers.
Comcast cable. So what's up, Sean? How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Good.
What a liar.
I'm really.
Right. That's not true.
You asked me last week if I was stressed out. I have been super stressed out all morning, and now I just dropped 2.5 bills, and
2.5.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, we've been stressed.
I figured I gotta get a good one. This is my goddamn livelihood now. I'm not just fucking around and hoping my Netflix doesn't go out. So
it is, man, and we are burning the midnight oil. With this damn schedule WWE's got going. I tell you what, here's what we did, people. So here's a new thing you're going to have to get used to.
This is what the guy was complaining about. He's like, all they ever talk about is fucking inside baseball.
Yeah, it's true. Well, no, I'm going to say, we booked ourselves some days off. I will no longer be working on Wednesdays. That's my day off. Sean will no longer work Thursdays. That's his day off. So you will not see us around at all. I can't wait for Wednesday. I'm going to do 3 posts just to go against everything I just said.
I know, that's what I was going to say. The whole thing. This is like, I have this argument with my wife all the time. And she's like, I'm like, well, see, I don't really work on Thursday nights, and I don't have anything. And she's like, all you ever do is sit at that fucking computer. And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, so.
Does she really do that? Does she say that?
Yeah, there's been a few times in the last, that might have been something that was stressing me out the last couple of weeks. I mean, I've been, there's a lot. Like, last week was crazy, right? I mean, I had to do Mondays is fine. Then I usually don't work Tuesdays, but I had to last week. Then Wednesdays I'm on for NXT and CWC.
Last week was the exception because of the draft.
Yeah, and then we had Battleground, and then it was right into, and because of all that, I didn't get any of my Battleground shit done in advance, so then I was busting ass to get that done at the end of the week.
Yep.
It's just been, I mean, even outside of WWE stuff, we had the Reigns suspension, we had Lesnar's fight, and then his positive test. It's just, there's been like blockbuster news stories nonstop for a month.
Japan action,
yes, which I keep fucking up, and I make the post so Kane can't even, not this Kane, we got too many Kanes on staff. What's up with that? What's the problem?
We're cocaine. Ha ha ha.
Wow.
You're fired. I don't even have the authorization to do that.
Sean, you're good. Boot him from the call now. That would be fucked up if we did that, right?
That's Becky Lynch. You're in Becky Lynch territory.
That's
there
true.
with that joke. God damn it. So
well,
can I just say I like this show, and I thought it was pretty good.
Cool. Good stuff.
A lot of people agree with your take, Sean Reeder.
A lot of people. Yeah, Sean. They don't.
Here's my hot take. I had fun watching it.
Yeah. Sounded like Ralph Garman right there.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
He's a all right, comedian.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you like the show, so you must not need psychological evaluation. Fucking hell, man! Apparently I need to go to see a counselor just because I didn't quite enjoy Battleground.
Your readers care about you, Gino.
Aw.
That's what they're just worried about.
You know what's funny? It would be funny if I took them up on that offer and just showed up on their Twitter and was like, well,
that's what you should do. You should just barrage them with Twitter DMs. Just like, oh, and then this happened. And oh my God, I'm still trying to deal with this.
Thanks so much for the offer. I had a bad day. I played Donkey Kong and Diddy kept dying. My lunch wasn't made properly. I don't have any water in the house. Roman Reigns came back. He didn't win the title. I don't know what to do. Well, I wonder how they'd react. Anyway, what other matches do we need to talk about?
We have Enzo's promo. We got to get to Enzo.
Shit. Dude, John Cena has expertly transitioned into the old man, the veteran, who's there to put the younger guys over. And I thought he did a really good job here. None of the, hey, you're just one-liners. Like, he was just, like, clapping his hands, going along with it, bowing to the dude, raising his arm up. Enzo Amore is the best thing that's happened to WWE since the fucking Rock. Dead-ass serious about that. That dude is a motherfucking star.
One thing that's good about Enzo that I think is undervalued in the world of people who appreciate wrestling is how he distracts the viewer from Big Cass's ugly ass shirt that he's wearing behind him. Because holy crap, that thing is awful. What the hell is that thing?
Was he wearing their merch?
It's the certified G thing.
I was going to say, you're correct that he distracted from it because I don't have any even clue what he was wearing.
Right. Well, tonight when Enzo gets in that ring, just stare at Cass the whole time.
Well, he has to cut it. It was cut to drape the same way, like whatever. Renee Young on the pre-show had on some sort of thing that had a cape over a jacket or something. And Cass's shit is cut the same way, but I think at least Cass is 7 feet tall, which
can't teach
is
that.
not something you can educate another human being on.
And he's got bigger titties.
No, that's not nice.
That's not a bad thing. He's just that's not bad.
Dean Ambrose is the head of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee.
The itty bitty boobies.
See, there we go again.
Boobies. So no, Enzo's fucking awesome. I don't know who's right. Do you think he writes that himself? Sean, is that a thing from NXT? Is that like a known?
Apparently, that's what he says. I mean, that he comes up with all that stuff. I mean, I guess on the main roster, he probably has to run it by somebody.
It seems like it's right.
That's what he said on SportsCenter was that he just thinks that shit like that. He says his mind is just going like that 24/7.
Oh man.
To me, would just be fucking exhausting. But
don't ever let him and Mojo Rawley show up in front of him.
They are hyped.
Sean, what did you think of Mojo? You do know Mojo.
I am pro Mojo based on like the last 6 months of his work in NXT. It was a weird. I mean, I was listening. I totally agree with you. It was a bizarre way to book him to show up just because they can't do anything with it from here. Like their post-show thing was just like, we're gonna be a tag team now. Yeah.
Oh, are they gonna do Hype Bros?
That's their post-show interview was like,
the SmackDown roster, I believe I'm looking at the tag team scene. There's American Alpha, then you have the Usos, and then I guess the Hype Brothers, Breezango.
It's Hype Bros, Kane. We don't say brothers.
Oh, my apologies. Can I say brothers?
Yes. All right, but from now on, I'm going to call Mojo Rawley one of the Hype Brothers.
So do the Hype Brothers fit in well with American Alpha in their style of match?
I think they can have a good match.
Anybody does. Those dudes are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Hype Bros is a fun tag team. I mean, I don't think they're like top of the card, but I mean, it's Mojo's sweet spot because he's gotten himself in better shape. You can even see it. He's not as big as he was. He doesn't get blown up just from his entrance like he used to.
All that partying with Gronk, he's doing a lot more fucking.
There you go. That's right.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's not funny, actually. I don't like Zack Ryder. And by the way, they took away the sensual woo-woo-woo, so I'm done with this bullshit. But no, you know what? Think about how bad it must feel to be him. Because remember originally, that sounded bad. He didn't want the tag team with Mojo. Like for a shoot, apparently. So imagine, they let him come up to the main roster again. They booked him to win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, took it from him the next night, fucked him around, did nothing with him, put him in a thing with Rusev, had him beat Sheamus clean, put him in a thing with Rusev for the U.S. title, beat him again, and then what did they go and do? Immediately paired him back up with Mojo. You poor bastard.
I look at it that he's pretty lucky because to me he's in that Fandango class where he could be doing nothing. So, and the tag team has sort of revitalized Fandango and Tyler Breeze and a few other guys. So to me, Zack Ryder ain't going to be out at SummerSlam. I mean, so to me, he should be happy if they give him a tag team. You take it and you try to make your best of it because I don't think Zack Ryder is really hangs too well with the rest of the roster.
I mean, before Mania, he couldn't even get a spot on Raw. When he first showed up to get built for the ladder match, everybody was like, what the fuck is this, Zack Ryder on Raw?
Right, they needed
now
three fill-ins.
He's sort of an established mid-card guy again. I mean, I don't think he's not selling out arenas, and he's probably not going to get a belt anytime soon, but you don't bat an eye when you see him on TV.
Another good life lesson Ryder provides us. Sometimes shit's going to go really well, and it looks like everything's going to go even better, and then it all goes to shit. And it'll turn around quick, and it'll look like it's looking up again, and it all goes to shit all over again, and then you just have to settle for the fact that your partner is a crackhead.
That old lesson.
If I had a dime for every time somebody's taught me that lesson.
That's the lesson. What else did we have, Canaanite?
Highlight reel.
Oh, Randall Ortman. Oh, my God. Another fucking complaint from the fans of Gay Side Seats. He didn't shoot on Brett, Gino. That's not a shot on Brett. Bullshit.
Who said it's not a shot on? He winked at the camera. It was.
Yeah, one person said it's not shooting if he's in a ring and it's a WWE mic, which that's fair.
All right, let's argue about fucking semantics. That's what wrestling fans love to do.
It's a shoot because he's referencing a real life thing. That's what shoot is, right? But yeah, I thought it was, and then literally dropped the mic. I thought it was great. It's great because it's a good shot, and you're legitimately like, look, Randy, I like you, and I like that they had Chris play the role of like, look, this might not be a good idea. I understand, you want to sell a match. Like, you almost say to him, like, I know you want to sell a match. This is cute. That's a legitimately terrifying human being. You now know he's on some shit. This might not. You're coming back from shoulders shit. Your shoulders are fucked already. He's going to suplex you. It's entirely possible you're going to die next month. Maybe don't fucking get him actually pissed at you. Like, that's probably a bad idea. You know what I mean? That's why it works. I thought it was great. No enhancement needed. Oh, it's also funny because Ortman has 2 strikes under the wellness policy.
Well,
dude,
at least two that we know of, right? Because the rumor is that one got buried so that he wouldn't have to be fired.
Yeah, they literally made a new rule in the thing just so they could take a strike away so they didn't have to fire his ass. No enhancement needed. Mic drop. I can't wait for him to suplex you into the crowd.
Do you think?
I really like this whole segment. My problem with it is,
of course,
it's a fucking Raw segment. Of course I did. Yeah, I thought I was ready to fucking roll my eyes at it and shit all over it because I don't like joking Randy Orton. But I thought he did really well with it. Actually, I mean, this was much more natural than his usual babyface stuff. I don't know why, because he had 9 months to practice it, maybe, or something. I don't know, but I thought he came across really well. Yeah. And I'm a Jerichoholic, and I liked all of his shtick. But even so, I don't know why this needed to be 20 minutes on a fucking pay-per-view at 10:30. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Their last 2 pay-per-views, including last night, have gone past 11 o'clock, or past the 3-hour mark. And this one, was 15, 20 minutes past, whatever it was. It's like, this would have been more effective on Raw because more people probably watch Raw than are watching this pay-per-view. And this doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. So,
Ortman nailed that rumor. They're going long on all these shows.
Yeah.
So maybe it's 4 hours.
You know what? I think after SummerSlam they might retreat from that because then you have your brand-only pay-per-views. So there's really no need to go past 3 hours.
I don't know if Ortman had it or if a different rumor monger had it, but I even thought I heard somewhere that maybe when they do the brand split pay-per-views, those might only be 2 hours, like takeovers.
Oh, really?
That's a good.
I don't know. That might just be a dream I had because I would really like that. True, so don't.
I would appreciate the help, WWE.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I know I make my living off of what you do, but and shitting on it usually. 2 other things about Orton that I didn't like. He was wearing pants.
Randy Orton wearing pants is never a good thing.
Really unsettling. Really unsettling. Weirdly so. I need his thighs back in my life.
Maybe his wife made him do it. His new wife.
And also, he shaved. I don't like babyface Orton.
Literal
babyface look. Yeah. I didn't like it. More complaints from Gino.
Well, he had to. Roman had his big beard on, so you can't have both of those.
Man, that is. I would like to do things.
Lucha things? Is this like a Kalisto deal?
Stuff.
Sometime recently, I came across like a clip of a Randy Orton Hell in a Cell match from like 2009 or 10, and he had no hair at all anywhere on his body, basically, and it was the most disturbing thing I've seen in a long time. It was so creepy. It was like, dude, grow some hair. All right, grow some hair, dude.
Dude, What other match was there? Is that the only match left?
The main event.
Main event?
Yep.
Man, yep, there was a main event. Good show, guys. Thanks, Kane.
Thanks, Sean.
I barely wrote about it, and people were upset about that. Because I don't know about you guys. I had a hard time getting into it. Nothing grabbed me. I mean, I thought it was cool. They did the spot on the outside, the double powerbomb thing. There weren't enough Shield callbacks for my liking. It wasn't enough about. I guess Rollins did the. I don't know. Thinking about it, I couldn't get into it.
I didn't even see this match, so Sean, it's all you.
We are goddamn professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
We're the worst.
I liked it. My problem with it was that, and I wrote about this in my recap of the match from it, is I understand why they fucking sold this as like victory for SmackDown, but to me, it's part of the whole problem with, I was not somebody who was really down on the fact that this was happening at Battleground as opposed to SummerSlam. I kind of agree with what Kane was saying earlier, that you should tell the story when the story dictates it. So I'm glad they didn't kind of stall this out for no other reason. I thought the build to it was really good. The promo packages throughout the night, I got goosebumps watching it. I was ready for Shield on Shield action. But then you spend after we've had 20 minutes of Randy Orton talking to Chris Jericho, then I've got 5 minutes of each member of both teams, both shows' authority figures getting their own entrance. And there's just, we're talking about, this is supposed to be, and the story that they told with the match, I thought really paid that off, was that this was Dean's, this was wrapping up the Shield stuff a little bit. This chapter, kind of like Owens and Zayn, was just one chapter that's closing. But this was really, it was a way for Dean, even though we all believe he's going to lose the title at SummerSlam now, or whatever. Or maybe not, because now that they've got 2 titles.
Who is he going to wrestle at SummerSlam?
We'll get
if
to
you
that.
look at the SmackDown brand, yeah.
Randy Orton. Oh, Randy Orton's already doing somebody else. But I thought this paid that off, and I thought that had a good number of Shield callbacks. I liked the powerbomb spot. I liked the fact that immediately following that, Dean was screwed for trusting Seth again, because the first thing Rollins did was grab a chair and go at both of them again. So I thought all that worked. I thought it was good. I'm not the biggest Dean Ambrose guy, but I thought this did kind of establish him. But it should have been more about establishing Dean and not about, yay, SmackDown, and then fucking those turncoat Usos, the Bloodline, run out there, and they've got Dean on their shoulders when he just pinned their beloved cousin. The SmackDown wins stuff really sort of rubbed me the wrong way. I understand why they're doing it. I guess it gives them some validity to have that belt on that brand, but that to me wasn't the story. This wasn't a Raw versus SmackDown story. This should have been the Shield story, and they sort of diminished that a little bit.
Okay, I did see the very last minute of the match, and then I saw the celebration, and I saw Eric Rowan in there, which seemed completely bizarre to me that Eric Rowan would be in the guys celebrating. So I wonder what the hell that's about.
Someone sent us a tweet that said, "Did you see who Rowan was talking to on his way to the ring? Maybe there's an alliance being talked about."
Wasn't he talking to Mary C?
He was talking to Marcy, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about? They're talking, they're hatching a plan to have an alliance. Like, do you think, no, this is fake, right?
Hey, wait. Eric Rowan wears a mask, right? She was wearing a mask. The Miz was wearing a mask.
True, mask.
Maybe they were together, at this orgy.
They were at the orgy.
Yeah.
Rowan was at the orgy, or they saw
Rowan. Well, Rowan does. He is a genius who makes his own wine, and has been proven to be able to murder someone on the internet and get away with it. So he might be an A-lister.
Completely got away with it. That post did so many hits days in a row. Everyone was interested, and no one did anything about it. He just walked out on Raw to celebrate with the
Bray was like the only SmackDown guy that wasn't in the locker room, right?
Was AJ Styles there? I didn't catch it.
You're right. AJ wasn't there.
I don't mind that part of it. I
don't care either. I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm not upset about it. I just think it's interesting.
I disagree with Sean in that I thought that was actually one of the more interesting parts of it. What I didn't like was, I don't mind if you're going to do that, because I think you can celebrate with someone in the moment, united for a common goal that we get the WWE Championship. And then I'll be kicking your ass and taking it from you tomorrow. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, certainly. What I didn't like was in the Fallout video, Ambrose's thing was to say, it was really tough, but, we are this business. We knew this was going to happen, and it finally did, and it's really cool. And it's like, you know what? Don't fucking do that. I'm tired of that. I'm done with that. I don't want to hear Dolph Ziggler talk about how he just steals the show. That's not the point, you dickhead. The idea is not to have a good match. The idea is to win. The idea is to tell the story you're trying to tell. I'm tired of the meta shit. I'm tired of the reality era. I don't want Dean Ambrose to interrupt his post-match interview to tell me how cool he thinks it is that the Shield just did a triple threat for the WWE title at a major WWE pay-per-view. I already know that. I understand that. Say that in a shoot interview that isn't a part of the programming. I need you to stay within the storyline at all times. I'll never in my life go to a movie and have them stop the fucking movie or have a character mid-movie just be like, it's actually really cool to be working with Brad Pitt on this flick. And then go right back into his character in the very next second. And WWE does this shit all the time. Of course I'm not.
They don't do it in the middle of the movie. They do it this is not the middle of the movie. They didn't stop in the middle of the match and high-five each other and say, we made it, and then go back to wrestling. They told
but they do it in promos all the time, though.
Well, they view that as that's like afterwards, I guess. They make up the rules as they go along. That's the same thing we were, But that to me, that's not as egregious as like stopping in the middle of the thing. And I don't know. I just think anybody who thinks that the new era is going to be anything other than fucking Stephanie and Mick bickering and Shane McMahon having 20-minute show opening promos is kidding themselves. Both of these things are built. I'm glad you liked the SmackDown thing, but to me, it was to watch Shane and fucking Daniel Bryan celebrate something they had nothing to do with. Just stupid.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what else to say. Like,
yeah, no, that's why people hate us, because we disagree, but neither one of us liked it. So we give you multiple reasons to hate something.
I have to go back and see what Mojo Rawley was doing during that. He's a SmackDown guy, right? I have to see what he was up to in that ring.
He's on SmackDown, right? That one crackhead that came out and got Rusev that Rusev just laughed off and then savaged on Twitter. Oh, man.
The Vaudevillains are on SmackDown, too, because they're Simon Gotch, who apparently maybe is sort of in the doghouse.
When he's done licking his wounds, getting knocked out by...
He didn't have a black eye or anything. He was sitting right there talking to somebody in the middle of the room. I already got drafted to another brand, so...
There you go.
Safe for now.
Is there anything else?
Is Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton going to main event SummerSlam?
No.
No, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins will. And or AJ Styles versus John Cena, because we got to have the trilogy fight there.
And then who's Dean Ambrose fighting? He's the champ.
I think eventually, and this goes back to my predictions, I think Styles goes over Cena at SummerSlam, and then Styles beats Ambrose to become the WWE champ And
then we get 6 months of Styles versus Randy Orton, maybe?
Probably. Sounds good to me. Doesn't it sound good to everybody?
So
any
6-month
long Randy Orton feud is always good. That's just empirically true, right? Everybody loves those. The only thing better than a 6-month long Randy Orton feud is a 6-month long Sheamus feud. I'm glad I could pop in and crush both of you.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton beats Brock Lesnar just because they have no one that's credible enough to fight Brock Lesnar. So they just have to, all right, Brock, your next 3 or 4 fights are going to be against Randy Orton whenever you show up. That's how we get another year out of you.
Here's my question. Do they think Brock is going to get booed now that he's a dirty cheater?
I guess. Randy Orton's a face.
I know,
now
right?
that he's a dirty cheater.
I know. That's what I steal that from Mike Fagan on Twitter, who likes to ironically rant about UFC fighters getting popped and people who pretend they're morally outraged about it.
Yeah, I can't believe this. This might result in a death.
How
Someone might die in there. And
my childhood has been ruined by Brock Lesnar and his estrogen treatants.
Is it attempted murder? Oh, man. All right, let's get out of here. I don't know what a good sign-off is. Bye.
I don't know. Either one of you guys have great, puns about, stuff?
No, but yeah,
That
I
was
don't know.
horrible.
I'm still pinching my nipples from before.